Switch it up. Man, welcome back to another episode of the Play for Keys podcast, the only podcast where we do something different every single day. Not an hour, not a week, not an episode. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. I'm in Connecticut from Houston wearing a Los Angeles shirt. We just doing different things. Glasses, jacket, shirt, man. Call me glasses, shirt, man.
Why are you wearing an LA shirt?
It was just something that was here, you know. It was just.
Oh yeah, I thought it was gonna be a Lakers shirt. It's just a quite literally just a Los Angeles shirt.
It's just it's literally just a Los Angeles shirt. I just
okay.
This one, niggas. You know, I mean, it was pod day. It's pod day. You know, You know, we do something different every day. I will admit, we do.
Do you think it's wise for you to keep talking?
You got to remember these things. You gotta remember these things.
That video is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my fucking life, bro.
Was that something you recently saw?
Yes, I never seen that before.
Oh, that's been out for some time. I've been listening to. I've heard that clip. It's got to be over a year old for sure. Definitely over a year old.
That hoe is new to me. Do you think it's wise for you to keep nigga?
That's something I thought about blind reacting you to like on multiple occasions. I just assumed that you've already heard this. So when I saw you on the TL, quoted, I was like, hold on, my nigga. Oh shit, you ain't this new for you?
Well, low-key, if it was a blind reaction, we might have got canceled because some of the stuff he was saying was sort of flagrant, I guess, unagreeable.
Oh, you disagree?
Let's move on.
Yeah, Shammy.
I don't know who that man is. He's hilarious, but we got stuff we need to get into. But before we even do that, we have other things we got to say.
Donations.
Woo.
Donations.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that.
Hey, man, you do have the power to change that, man.
You do.
Link in the bio. Link in the bio. And, of course, we can't forget our loyal subscribers.
All I hear is this that check came me. I love it when you talk to me. My fantasy. I love it when you talk to me. My fantasy. This that check.
Yeah, man. Road to 1,000. As it currently stands, we're at 936 subscribers.
Yes.
All right.
Next week.
Oh God, you know what I mean? But fuck getting there before 100. Fuck getting there before the 100 episode, nigga. We can get this shit right now.
Yeah, this gonna be what 94, right?
I believe so. 94, if not 95. Well, it probably is 94. I don't know the official one.
Yeah, no, it's 94. It's 94. This one is 94.
This will be 94.
Yeah, so
by the time the NFL draft, we got content for days, nigga. We 4 or 5 deep, nigga. Nigga, we here. So it's gonna be a parade inside this city when we hit this 1K. No cap.
Long time coming.
Long time. And shout out to y'all you know, going crazy on that Shaq video. You know what I mean? That was appreciate that. Appreciate whatever the fuck was going on there. A lot of wild shit I saw on in the comment section, but you know, W engagement. I appreciate that.
That's all we can hope for. When it gets like that, when it gets out of hand like that, all we can just at least it's engagement, you know, just avert our eyes and look away while the violence is happening.
Absolutely. It's just you turn around. It's like one of those Power Ranger episodes. You see the explosion way behind them.
Yes.
That's what it is for us. Yes, boy, do we have a show for you. This is a podcast for casuals. If you are a casual, this is for you.
You're in the place to be.
You are right where you need to be. The word of mouth spreads. Tell friends to tell friends to tell other friends. We don't want the enemies no more. That was before we was on our way to 1,000.
Yeah, now
We
we're
cut that shit off.
we're a little different now.
You know, we got a brand to uphold and maintain. We cut that shit off at 500. 500. We got enough enemies for today. We met a quota. We met a quota, man. But let's go ahead and just go right into it, man. Let's talk about some life. Oh, wait. Do we have any?
We do not care.
Do we have anything that we don't care about?
I mean, like in real life, yeah, but when it comes to the show, not right now. Not much. Not nothing for real. So we can just go ahead and get into something that we do care about because we support the WNBA. And the WNBA draft, if you guys did not know, it happened last week, I believe, April 14th. Maybe that was this week. I don't know. But regardless, they did a horrible job promoting it. I didn't realize it was coming on until people like I saw a tweet there like, why isn't nobody talking about the WNBA draft happening tonight? And I was like, oh, it's happening tonight. So, I tuned in and everything. Did you happen to watch the actual broadcast or no?
I watched some recaps like the following day because I was at work at the time doing other things. But I saw the synopsis. I know that Dallas found their next Luka. You know what I mean? And Paige Beckers.
Yeah, Paige Beckers, she went number 1 overall, guard from UConn. Yeah.
Also, Haley Van Lith, being able to be paired with Angel Reese once again with the Chicago Sky. Shout out to her. And shout out to her boyfriend, Jalen Suggs. The whole family affair there.
Yeah. Shoot.
Look, at some point, this has nothing to do with WNBA basketball. He do need to let that go. He do need to let that air go.
I understand it though.
Like,
no, excuse me, golly, because nobody wants to lose their hair, but when it gets to be like as bad as his, because his is like he doesn't have any corners anymore. The corners are like gone now completely. It's just, yeah, he needs to. Or either that or go to Turkey, like, because he has the money for either or. It's a really either or option with him. So I don't know why he don't do it, but maybe he'll do it this offseason. Maybe.
Honestly, if he goes to Turkey, that's fine. But and maybe I'm just speaking from a point of privilege, of just I guess having a beard. Going bald never scared me. Granted, my dad ain't bald or anything like that, but like. The thought of that, I was like, yo, that being bald not bad. I've seen some cool ass niggas bald. But then again, they had beards, so I guess
it'd be cold all the time. And I don't want that.
Swear a hat, nigga. Wear beanies. I'm
not a hat nigga. I don't like hats.
But you don't come off as a bald nigga either, so
fair.
I don't really see that in your future. So,
I don't know.
Like I said, we're speaking from a place of privilege.
I know I'm gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go bald, but I know I'm going gray soon because it happened to like everybody in my family, and I got a couple gray hairs. But for now, I'm fine. But anyways, back to the WNBA draft. Like we were saying, Paige, she got drafted first overall. The Dallas Wings, they was happy because they've been needing that. All they have so far is Arike, who is a very, very good WNBA player, but that is all they have. So getting Paige.
They have some other black. They have some other black women that I don't know if they got them in free agency, but I see the vision of them building a very, for lack of a better term, a very black ass team, and I respect it. I respect it. It's a roster full of melanin. I love that. Love that for Dallas. Love that for the city of Dallas. Paige Becker's gonna be just fine.
Sure.
Also. Shout out to I forgot that girl's name. Oh, I know Anisha Morrow got drafted. She was also really cold at LSU.
Mhm.
Also, Georgia Amore, point guard out of Kentucky that got drafted by I think the Mystics or something. I only know about her is because she did a collab with Russell Westbrook, like a dress collab.
You seen where she gave him like she tried to like give him her jersey and he held like her jersey small as hell, so that shit was just funny to me.
Yeah, I did see that. So overall, like we said, nobody really like this. This was, of course, this was not going to be marketed in the same manner or same light as Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But honestly, the amount of women that opted out to not go into the draft, there was a lot. This was supposed to be a really like heavy class. This was supposed to be a really good class. But everybody just went back for their senior year. Literally. Like Flau'jae was supposed to be in this draft. Hidalgo from Notre Dame was supposed to be in this draft. There was quite a few women that was supposed to be in this draft, on top of the women that's already there to make this like, ooh, this you know, the evolution. But
yeah, that NIL money is too good because I think it was Cameron Brink. She was talking about her salary, and I think she only makes $70,000, and that's only in the WNBA salary. So she obviously makes more than that in general. But like with the NIL era and everything, now people are making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So why not go back to school for one more year if you got it? So I can't really be mad at it because that's just how the game is now. That's really how it is for all college sports now. That's how it is. So you just got to accept it when it's something like that.
Yeah, and like I said, and transfer portal, all that jazz. Like, it's definitely a different animal, a different beast. So I'm never gonna tell a woman to not get her coins, not get her paper, because everybody not gonna get the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese endorsements.
Exactly.
Everybody's not gonna get that. So get it where you can. Get where you can. I'm not.
But shout out to the Seattle Storm. They had the second pick and they drafted Dominique Malonga, who is a like 19-year-old from France who is like the woman version of Wemby, because she's also, I mean, she's not as tall as him, obviously, but she's like 6'6". She can dribble the ball, she can shoot, she can dunk, which is crazy. Like there's videos of her just dunking with ease. So she's gonna, I mean, if she stays healthy and everything and develops, she's gonna be something in the WNBA. So that's gonna be interesting to see. That'll be interesting to see.
You think she catching a body this year?
This year, I don't know if she done it on any, or not this year, because she's skinny as hell. Because she's 19, like all the other girls are, because they all had to go through 4 years of college. She was playing pro in France, so she was able to come earlier. But like she's skinny as hell. Like she's very, very small. I don't think she's gonna dunk on anybody in this first year. But second year, when she put a little muscle on, she probably will. But this year, I don't think so, because like she's a stick figure, but she's tall as hell and she can shoot. So we'll see.
Yeah, she might she might shake the internet catching a body on Caitlin Clark. She might fuck shit up. Hey man, look, man, fuck, like I said, man, fuck lowering them rims, man. We got Dominique, man. We got Dominique, bro. She don't need shit lower. She dunking with ease. She dunking with ease, man. Evolution.
But moving on from the WNBA, it is playing week in the NBA, and I guess like that's all I can say. With the playing week, if you don't know, that's the 7th seed that's the 7th seed, 8th seed, 9th seed, and 10th seed in the playoffs. They each play each other to see who gets the last 2 spots in the playoffs. The 7 and 8 play, and the 9 and 10 play, and then they go on from there. And like, yeah, the play-in happened. The first little round of the play-in happened on the Eastern Conference side. The Orlando Magic stomped out the Hawks 120-95. Trae Young, he got ejected in a very funny way. And then on the West side, the Grizzlies lost to the Warriors in a close game, 121-116. And then in the 9 and 10 matchups on the Eastern side, the Heat stomped out the Bulls 109-90, and the Mavs stomped out the Kings 120-106 on the Western side. And like, has society moved past the need for a play-in basketball game?
Honestly, I see what people are saying. I'm gonna still say no. I just think they should have. I remember the first time they did the play-in. It was like a rule and regulation to it, where it's like the play-in only happened if you were a certain amount of games behind, like eligible teams
It
that were
was
in the
like,
playoff.
it was
I
like,
think
I
it was
don't
at
remember
least
that. Maybe
the first.
I don't remember that, but I could be wrong, but I don't remember that.
It was the very first year. I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021. I don't know if it was like
Because was the first year, was it in the bubble? Was the first year or
yeah, I think maybe the first year was in the bubble, and like that's why the Phoenix Suns, they had like that hot like 8-game streak.
oh yeah, they went 8-0
but
and all that.
they still weren't able to like make that play-in because they didn't meet that minimum game requirement.
Okay,
to
yeah, I remember now.
I think if they brought shit like that back, because and like I said, like a team like this time, like this year, we don't really need necessarily to play in for like the Mavs. We don't need the Mavs to be in this bitch. We don't
The
need
Mavs and the Mavs and the Kings and the Bulls and the Heat, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm so sorry. None of those teams are good enough to the playoffs.
Yeah, so like you can't have I don't think you should be having a similar record as like the Trailblazers and the Spurs and still find your way as the AFC. Is just
It
wasting
doesn't make
people's
sense.
time. But
Yeah,
at the same time, we had a similar situation last year where it did make sense, or the year before that where it did make sense, where it's just like, okay, well, like Jimmy Butler willed this fucking team and ended up making the fucking finals. And I think even although Zion ended up getting injured like on the last OT of the day, like
the very last possession
on his 40th point, but like that game was so goddamn entertaining. Like I'm like, okay, bet. Like I see why the play-in makes sense for this year. Every year is going to be different. Every year is going to have his things, but you having 38, 39 wins, fuck out of here.
That's what I don't like. On the Western side, the Kings and the Mavs are the 9th and 10th seed, and they have 40, or the Kings are 40 and 42, and the Mavs are 39 and 43. And they get a chance to make the playoffs, even though the 7th and 8th seed are the Warriors and the Grizzlies, and they're both 48 and 34. Like their records are so much better than the Mavs and the Kings, yet they still have to play them for a spot to like rightfully be in the playoff. Like I do agree, like there should be some sort of like if we're going to continue doing this, there needs to be like some sort of you can't get in the play-in if you're more than like 5 games behind or something like that. Because it don't really feel fair to me, and it feels like a waste of time because like the Mavs are not good, the Kings are not good, and we saw that happen. Or we saw in like it was proof like their cheekiness was proven by like watching the game and like they were not good. Like none of those games were good. I was just like, wow, this is a waste of time.
Yeah, literally the play-in honestly is made for teams like I'll say this. It's made for teams like the Philadelphia 76ers had they got their shit together. Where it's like, yeah, injuries happen. But if healthy, they could really make some noise, and they do deserve to be in the playoffs over a nigga that happened. Like if the Mavs didn't fall off a cliff completely, but they were the AFC, but in your right mind, like this really deserves to be another team. They just had injury prone. Like let's duke it out. Let's see who really deserved that H spot. That's what it was really made for. Plus, the ungodly amount of tanking that niggas failed to forget why this was even in place to begin with. Like niggas was putting in NBA G League lineups, in like early to mid March. So I mean, look, we've come a long way, but like we has to be a regulation. What you said 5 games? I think at the time I think during the bubble, I think it was 10 games. But if they did 5, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I think if you're in a 5-game window span, it makes sense. Now, I would ask you, would it just turn into like say the 10th seed is just way out of there, like they're not in contention, but that 9th seed is still within that 5-game window? Would you still, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I also
would you
like
just
one. Like, well, first, getting all my feelings on the play, and I think they should just stop it in general. But if they're gonna continue to do it, I also do think it should be the 5 games out thing. And I think it should only be like the 9th seed only have a chance. Like just one final person or one, or not one, but 2 teams, like 8th and 9th, duking it out for that final spot. If anything, if they're gonna keep the plan, I think it should be like that because that 10th seed, be for you don't deserve to be your 10, bro. You don't deserve to be here. Like, so that's what I think it should be.
So basically what you're saying is basically a 7th, whoever is basically a double elimination for the 7th, 8th seed, like loser faces the 9th seed.
No, I think it's just be 8th and 9th. Just them play one game. Whoever wins gets that spot.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. I
think the set like 7 and up should be completely safe. It's just 8 and 9 have to figure out. Yeah.
Oh, that can get spicy. I wouldn't mind that because I don't know. To be honest, I don't know why they brought the 10th seed in this.
Like when all that first started, they did it because TV money, and so like that's why they did it. But when the playing and all that stuff first happened, I was also like, why is 10 here? I never heard of nobody being no 10 seed trying to make the play. Like you don't deserve it. So yeah, it's just it's weird.
I think
don't like it.
In my mind, I kind of had it like, okay, like 7th and 8th battle for placement, and then whoever loses will face the 9th. But at the same time, I'm just like, but if 9th ain't got to play nobody, that puts the 8th nigga at a disadvantage. Like, why would you want them playing 2 games?
Exactly.
You just, might as well just hit the 8th, 9th, one game elimination. Okay, yeah. You know what? I like that better. 8, 9, you convinced me. 8, 9, because I still believe a play-in of some caliber of some sort should be a thing. Because look, I don't give a fuck. This was a bad year, but it do be entertaining at times. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas talking about.
Fair. I guess we put the plan. Although one more thing about the plan, though, they need to figure out what to do with these stats because I know all the stats you get from the playing game, like they're just erased from history because they don't get saved in playoff stats. They don't get saved in regular season stats, so it's just gone. So they need to figure out what to do with those stats as well. But that's a
historical. It's gonna take a nigga getting a historical line, stat line for niggas to kind of change it. Like it'll take a nigga. Yeah, he dropped. He's first player in NBA history to drop 75, and it won't matter because it wasn't in. That'll fuck. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that'll fuck me up.
They gotta beat Kobe because I don't think nobody's gonna score 100, but somebody get them nice little 82, nice 85 points. See, but that's not gonna happen. If it's a playing game, and you let somebody drop 80 on you, you don't deserve to be in the motherfucking playoff. Your franchise needs to be moved if that shit happens.
I don't think, I'm gonna be honest with you. Anybody that's in the playoffs that allows somebody to give you 80, you don't deserve to be there either. Yeah. You don't deserve to win that series, honestly. Like I don't think. I gotta watch my mouth. I gotta watch my mouth on that. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm 60 I can handle because like all the greats have dropped 60 in the playoff. Like it's a thing that happens. Like you don't want a nigga to get 60, but like okay, a nigga got 60. Like fuck, I'm mad. But Jordan, he didn't drop 60 before. I think Bird did it. LeBron, I don't think he dropped 60, but he been close to it, like 50, 60. Like I don't want to. I would rather it not happen, but I can live with that. A nigga dropping 70 plus? No, sir. No, sir. You can't do that. No, sir.
I mean, I understand. I've also seen niggas like Karl Anthony Towns give you close to 68 in a loss too, you know. So it is a double-edged sword of like, okay, like, yeah, he dropped it, but y'all lost. You know what I mean? So like, I can't say you're undeserving if you still ended up getting the W. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any real ill will. I just understand that we may be prisoners in a moment right now, but let niggas take that playing shit away, and niggas gonna hit me with the fake sympathy. Oh, we missed the plan. Oh, no, y'all don't. Like y'all be y'all be so wishy-washy on the timeline about any and everything about basketball. So I don't think it's going anywhere because of money, but it definitely needs to get tweaked. So.
But we're talking playing, so let's go ahead and pivot real fast to the playoffs, and let's take a look at the at the bracket real fast. Let me pull it up right here.
I should.
Now the 8th seed for both these for the East and West hasn't been decided yet. That game will happen later tonight, so it's either going to be Miami and Atlanta in the East or Dallas and Memphis in the West. And even though this could age very poorly, who do you think is going to win real fast? So we can go on to talk about the playoffs as a whole.
Trae Young wins, and hot take for me, I think Dallas beats Memphis.
Oh, that's disgusting. I think Memphis is going to win, but for the sake of conversation, I will agree with you so we can just continue on this. Like, who do you see in these playoffs making it from the Western side? Like, how do you see stuff can go? How do you see stuff going, rather?
Oh, like who's coming out the West? Or are you just talking about first round?
First round.
I think Thunder sweep.
For sure.
I think the Nuggets Clippers is gonna be
that one's gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Clippers win in 6. I think Clippers win in 6.
I can see that. I was thinking that too. I feel weird saying it because like the Nuggets have Jokic and the Nuggets are the Nuggets, but the Clippers been playing like they've been looking very, very good. They've been looking very good.
The Nuggets ain't got a head coach.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that plays a part in everything. I'm be honest with you. Like,
oh yeah, you're right.
It's like, okay, like the Clippers are rolling, and knock on wood, because we always talk about how we always talk about the Clippers, if healthy, so
Kawhi has been looking healthy though. I will say that.
Yeah,
he's looking healthy.
He's had a decent season for sure. And as far as the Lakers Timberwolves, I'm gonna be honest with you. Under normal circumstances, regardless of it being LeBron and Luka, I would have said the Timberwolves. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I say this every year. I don't trust anybody that employs Julius Randle. Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5.
I do want
addition by subtraction is real.
I want the Timberwolves to win because I like Ant, but I could also see a world where, like, if the Thunder for some reason do not get to the finals, I could see a world where LeBron and Luka take the Lakers to the finals. That would be the most hilarious outcome. I feel like. So I think I'll lean towards the Lakers in this matchup, but I would hate for the Timberwolves to lose because that's gonna, how people are gonna start talking about Ant after that, and I hate when it gets to that.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that, and probably one of the more controversial lineups between the Rockets and the Warriors. Me personally, I'm just happy to be here. I'm really just happy to be here. Nobody expected us to be here. I've been saying 50 wins off rip. I've been saying 50 wins. I said them niggas gonna win 50 wins. So don't be like, because I be hearing that shit on the fucking First Take and all these others. Not even the most optimistic Rocket fans thought they were gonna be this good. I'm like, nigga, I've been saying 50 wins. I'm right here, nigga. Niggas. What the fuck? But I will say, like, two things can be true. I believe 50. I wholeheartedly believe 50. I did not believe second seed all the way through. I mean, I thought, there's going to be some niggas that had, 58, 57. I thought we might be 4th, 5th, you know what I mean? But, niggas were fighting in the trenches. So I'm gonna only take the Rockets in 6 because if it goes to a game 7, I don't trust it. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it goes to a game 7, I'm a little hesitant. I don't give a fuck. We got home court advantage. It's either Rockets at 6 or these niggas or the Warriors win. Because the Warriors cannot hold a fucking lead to save their life. They can't hold a lead. They can't hold a lead for shit. And I'm learning that. Like they have really high highs and like really low lows. I'm like, damn, nigga. Y'all good on paper, but shit.
I think the Warriors got this one still because it's just you seen Jimmy in the playing game. He just dropped 38. Like he turned into playoff Jimmy, and like that the playoff Jimmy thing is sort of like
that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's like a real thing, but it's also not. It's just Jimmy playing like it's just Jimmy locking in. So I think when Jimmy locks in, it's sort of hard for them to do anything with that, especially when you already have like the greatest point guard of all time. If he's not the greatest, he's the second greatest, and he's still, even though he's still like the greatest shooter ever. So I would lean toward the Warriors in that just because they got two. I think the Rockets are going to be good in the future, but maybe just not this year. I mean, they're good now, but like you get what I'm saying as far as like advancing in the playoffs and stuff like that. Look, like I feel like they're going to take the next step like next year or something maybe.
I understand what you're saying because I can admit that Jimmy dropped one of the quietest 40s because I mean it didn't even look like 40 like on our screen. But
that's just 40 to me. Shit.
I ain't gonna lie, like that nigga dropped 40, and they still only won by 2 or 3 points, and that's all I'm saying. I'm like, that don't encourage me. Now Jimmy was giving me 40, and they was blowing niggas out by 20 and 30. Okay, you might have something. 40 and the Grizzlies just can't inbound the ball, and that's the reason why y'all niggas won.
Honestly, though, the Grizzlies they did inbound. They inbounded that ball in time. Somebody did ran like a timer next to it, and they called the 5-second violation when it had only been 4 seconds. So
I saw somebody that did it that said 6.
Okay,
I saw somebody that did a time meter, and they said they actually gave them an extra second. Honestly, they gave them 6 seconds.
No, I saw one that said 4.3. So we're probably both wrong. Maybe the ref did get it right. Who would have thought?
But who would have thought? Not me. But I mean, like I said, this is really a coin flip. I'm not going to argue that you think the Warriors are going to win because look, nobody had us here anyway. Give a fuck. Everything is icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, y'all playing with the Rockets are playing with house money now. But moving on to the Eastern side, real fast. It doesn't matter. We said, I guess we both agreed that the Hawks would win, but we're just assuming the Cavs are going to win that first round matchup, correct?
Hell no. I'm not saying. Well, let me rephrase this. Really? Hell yes. Okay. First of all, I'm going to say hell yes, but I don't view it as a hell yes like I view the Thunder as a hell yes. It's not going to be sweet.
I get.
I think Trey's going to get you a game or two. I think Trey's going to get you a game or two.
But I guess we both do agree that we see the Cavs winning this series. And Absolutely. Then next, I have no idea who's winning this 4 or 5 with the Pacers and Bucks. I have literally no idea.
What the fuck? Nigga, it's the Pacers.
Giannis is still there. Giannis still exists, bro. It'd be hard to count him out, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nigga, Dark River still exists. Think I'm finna move my pivot? Fair. You think I'm finna move my pivot from this year to last year, nigga? No.
That's fair.
It's not gonna be easy either way. But yeah, I got the Pacers. This is the former Eastern Conference. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. It was Mickey, but they still did.
This next matchup, the Knicks and Pistons of the 3 and 6 matchup. I got the Pistons with the upset, bro. I don't know what it is. I believe in Cade, bro. I believe in the Pistons. I do not care.
I don't even believe that like Cade. I don't even think like Cade finna have like something spectacular. I just think as a collective from Detroit, they're gonna check that temperature. Now, I will say, I was one of those non-believers when it came to like the environment of the Knicks arena. Let me tell you, after going to that motherfucker arena, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really trying my best not to gas it up. If it's loud enough, I don't know about the infrastructure. That bitch feel like it shake a little bit. I'm like, yo, my nigga, this kind of crazy. I don't know because niggas was jumping up and down. Granted, this was just a regular Houston Rockets game, like nothing too crazy. A playoff event, you know, Detroit gonna test those waters. Like, I mean, look, I'm here for it, but look, I want to go Pistons, and I won't be surprised if it's Pistons to 7.
Mhm.
But I have Karl Anthony Towns agendas to push, so I would like for the Knicks to win and get out this first round. And I'm going to say,
you know what? That's real. That's real. Push the agenda. That's real. That's real. Push the agenda. That's real.
I have to push the agenda. I'm sorry.
That is fair.
Even though I'm a fan of the Pistons, though. The Pistons going. If the Pistons win at 7, I won't be upset.
Yeah, but it's bigger fish to fry. I get it. I understand completely, wholeheartedly.
Absolutely, nigga.
And then the Celtics and the Magic. I think this one. I don't know, man. I like the Magic, bro. I like Paolo. I don't think they're gonna win, but like I wanted to go 7.
It's a sweep.
It's a sweep.
It's a sweep. Our gentleman sweep, whatever you want to call it. It's a sweep. It's a sweep, bro. And
Honestly,
if you would have asked me this in like November, December, I would have gave you another answer. But I don't know. And maybe I'm just taking too much into account on like the playing game. But like they just don't feel like the same Orlando Magic I was watching earlier this season. I don't know. It just don't fit. I'm going. Nobody outside of maybe not even the Warriors. Everybody in the playing felt like they had like major, like there was a major flaw. There was a flaw that you could see, like, okay, like some if they don't get some shit together, like this could be exposed in a playoff situation. We just give Golden State a lot more credit because they have history behind them. But everybody else, either they look fucking ass or they just don't look like the same version of themselves that we probably would have said in November and December. So I don't know. I just think I ain't gonna lie. I just think Jason Tatum is on a mission this year to say, hey, yo, look, I gotta dominate and I need to get this finals MVP. So I'm gonna say sweep.
And the door is open for him to do that because I think Jaylen Brown's been dealing with like some type of foot or knee injury or some injury to some part of his leg. Some with his leg he's been dealing with. So Tatum do got a chance to do all of that stuff he just said.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a real opportunity to be had where I mean we could see like a Celtics Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals and then Celtics just take it home because they have championship, experience behind their belt and they see who's on that other side for the finals and who knows. It might be a Lakers Celtics finals.
That's honestly like if OKC does not win, I want that to. If OKC don't get to the finals, I want that to be the finals because I would be.
We deserve a big market finals. It's been
LeBron deserved one last chance at the finals, bro. Because he deserved one last chance at the finals, especially if it's Lakers Celtics, nigga. That whole go
with
crazy.
With Luka having the Celtics, with Luka, facing the Celtics again in the finals, back to back.
Wow. Adam Silver, you got to put in that call because I know what's old dude name? Oh, I can't. I know. David Stern would have done that. He would have put in that call already. This would have already been. It would have already been written in stone if David Stern was still alive. So
honestly, look. Honestly, there's a storyline. There's a storyline to be had with a couple teams. I'm be honest with you. With the exception of the Thunder,
even with the revenge year, with the Warriors, it could be Steph getting his 5th chip. With the Cavs, if the Cavs they end up facing the Lakers in the finals, LeBron going back to Cleveland, can Cleveland beat it's a whole lot of everything from every
even if you wanted to go X, Y, and Z, like even if you want to go a deeper route, having Warriors Cavs in the finals and they just look totally different. This is not the same Warriors Cavs that you're used to in the early 2010s.
Yeah,
they both hit some sort of rebuild, like This is like a third rendition of what Steph Curry has versus a complete different makeup of what the Cavaliers are. That still would feed families, even though you don't have your traditional like superstar coming out the East.
Like taking a step back, like this whole playoff, just looking at the bracket, it's a feed, like it's a feast. It feeds everybody's families, like because we have old superstars, we have new people coming up. Like this is a really good representation of the league because it's a good chance to see. Oh, this young guy, he might be one of the ones. Like, oh, we see K, he might cook. We see Paolo, he might cook, and like
it's a good mix.
The average person is not gonna know who these people are because this is how it works because they still young and they ain't like done it yet. So this is gonna be I think it's gonna be a great playoff. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm like really
but this is the type of play. This is the type of playoffs where you make your name. Like nobody respectfully, like we talk about all this Ant-Man and Anthony Edwards shit. It didn't hype up until that nigga swept KD last year. He swept KD. He's my fault. He swept the Phoenix Suns. You know what I mean? He swept the Phoenix Suns and then went into the second round, beat another team, and was in the Western Conference Finals. And that's when niggas was like, oh shit, Ant one of them ones. Like we thought Ant was good, but now Ant is damn near like this household name.
Mm-hmm.
So
got the livest commercials too. So
this is where Cade makes his debut. This is where Paulo finally gets, national media coverage, gets the national televised games. And you're playing the Celtics. So you're not gonna be, they hold you when you had to play the Cavs last year. Mm-hmm. Now you're playing the Boston Celtics. You're not gonna get hold because they're gonna put Boston on. They're gonna put them on the good channels. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and even with the Rockets, like you're dealing with the Warriors. Everybody want to see Steph Curry. So you're gonna have ample TV time. So I like it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs. One team that's not excited for the playoffs because they're not in the playoffs is the New Orleans Pelicans, and they have fired their GM, who was David Griffin. David Griffin also used to be the GM for the Cavs. That has nothing to do with anything, but I just thought that was an interesting tidbit. But they fired David Griffin. They brought in Joe Dumars, who is is he in the Hall of Fame? I'm pretty sure Joe Dumars is in the Hall of Fame. If he's not in the Hall of Fame,
doesn't he have a position in with the NBA? Ain't he the nigga that's responsible for finding niggas?
He did, but now he's he's not in the he's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. I was gonna say, but yeah, Joe Dumars, Hall of Famer, and he was working with the NBA. Now he is the president of basketball operations for the Pistons. I think he's sort of doing some GM duties with them as well. But I bring all of this up because apparently there's been an order or initiative or just something that the Pistons want to seek out, or not the Pistons, but the Pelicans, they want to seek out a trade for Zion because they just haven't, they haven't been doing nothing that they thought they'd do since they got Zion. And I am not necessarily mad at that because you could get a lot for Zion. And I believe I had texted you and this came to me. Like, imagine like Zion in San Antonio. I think that'd be a great trade. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because he could really be completely healthy.
What? I was like, you was giving me some nasty trades. I was like, nigga, what?
That trade was not crazy, bro. You need to stop. But imagine a healthy movie with Zion at the 4 and 5 would be too crazy. Because there's no way you'd be able to guard them. Now, all of this is, predicated on the health of both these players, which we don't necessarily know how well they are, how healthy they are going to stay. But I just think something like that is a pretty interesting trade that I think the Pelicans should try to explore.
If I'm a G, like now, if you were talking about a nigga like Nico Harrison, you may be able to get off some of the trades that you was trying to ask for. But if I'm a new GM in this situation, I'm trying to set the tone. And if you think I'm not leaving with at least a Stephon Castle, you're tripping.
They wouldn't give you Stephon Castle.
Exactly, which means they would never go to San Antonio. Like I
They
need
for
like
sure-
need-
imagine the Spurs get a because they're obviously gonna be in the lottery. Imagine the Spurs get a top 3 draft pick, and they're like, and the Pelicans are like, okay, we'll give you Zion if you give us that top 3 draft, whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 3. You give us that draft pick. What? When you say, "Oh my god," like
whether there's 1, 2, or 3, nigga, that's very important. If it's 1 or the 2 or 3, let's be honest with each other, Jax.
All right, say
because I'll be honest. If it's the number 1 draft pick, I'll 1-for-1 you. I'll 1-for-1 you or add some shit to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how I feel about Cooper Flag. If that shit is the 3rd, no, nigga, I need more than just the 3rd, brother.
okay. So in this hypothetical, let's say the Spurs get the 3rd pick, and the Pelicans are like, all right, we'll give you Zion. You give us the 3rd pick, Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson, whichever one, or both. Fuck it.
We're gonna say Devin Vassell. We're gonna say Devin Vassell.
Okay, so that pick, Devin Vassell, and I think the Spurs have another pick later in the draft. You wouldn't do that for Zion?
That's a little bit better.
If the Pelicans see no hope for Zion at all, because I'm pretty sure the Spurs have another first-round pick.
That's a better package than what you was giving me 2 days ago. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
The only thing I just said, the only one I said 2 days ago was just Zion. Like that, you act like it was just a terrible package. I was like,
no, you was like, you framed it like, yeah, I'll give you my lottery pick for Zion. I'm just like, nigga, just a lottery pick for Zion.
I feel like you could have assumed. I feel like you could have assumed I was talking about one of the top picks, not like the 14th or something like that. I thought it was implied that I was talking about.
It doesn't matter if it was a top 10. I don't care if it was 2 through 10. If it wasn't number 1, that's wild, nigga.
Okay.
You can't advertise because now we at this point now we're disrespecting Zion. Because we know what Zion looks like when he got that shit going.
Fair.
We know what he look like. Nigga will give you 40. You can't just what's the word I'm looking for? There's no way you're convincing me about a VJ Edgecombe right now. Like as yeah, he could be good. Just like there's other niggas that are good. But a 1-for-1 was not you're not going to convince me. You're not. Okay. You weren't going to. Not me.
Anyways,
not as my first. That is my first. My first move as a new GM. Hell no.
But who can you see Zion going to? Like, what's another trade you think could happen? Or maybe not the exact trade because that take too long to hash out. But what's another team you want to see him with, or a team you think the Pelicans could move him to
and get some real assets back? Bro. And I'm going based off of the team, not what the Pelicans can get back.
Yeah.
If I'm Brooklyn, I could see them making an aggressive effort.
I don't know what Brooklyn is doing. Like, I just mean that in the very literal sense. I have no idea what's going on with Brooklyn. I have no idea what direction they're trying to go.
Well, this is the first time they've been able to tank with intention because they have all their. This is their first year that they've had their first round draft pick. I think in the last 15 years, I remember this. It was they haven't been able to do shit like this in 15 years. So there's going to be there's going to be a learning curve going on, but I see the direction that they're going. They're hoping that they can get a Cooper Flag. They're hoping they can get lucky, but if not, fuck it. Mm-hmm. I've heard them say they're trying to, it's not going to happen, but they're trying to get, a Giannis or get like a Zion. You can get you a Zion or whatever. Zion in the big market. He's in New York. I don't see him going to the Knicks. I don't see that.
No, it's not happening.
I don't see him going to no shit like Miami or some shit. I just don't think Pat Riley. I think that's not like he's not that type of player. No. He's not that type of player.
You don't think Pat Riley and them could whip him into shape?
I'm not saying that Pat Riley is not what he needs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't know if Zion is that type of player. I just don't. I don't think that's what it is.
You don't think he'll put in the work to do it, or what do you mean by that?
I don't think him and Pat Riley would mesh well together.
I don't think Pat Riley's meshed well with a single human being on this planet.
Exactly, which is why I don't think it's going to work.
I mean, he's had him a couple championships with other players. He probably like Shaq.
Yeah,
I don't think he meshed with Shaq well. Shaq just did what he wanted, and Pat was okay.
Yeah, literally the top 5 people in the world at the time. Yes.
You don't think Zion? You don't think Zion? Like Zion's not that right now, but you act like Zion didn't have top 5. Don't have top 5 talent. Don't have top 5 like ability because he can or he could still reach that. We don't know, but that is something that's still a height he can't reach because healthy Zion is quite literally unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not unstoppable. I don't know if Pat Riley's able to tap into that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. Like he's not well at adapting to the situations. He's not well, like he's just not well. Like wasn't there like a generational meme that just happened? Maybe I am washed. I don't know. Had this been 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, nigga. I don't fucking know. But I think I don't know where else he could go that
would make a real difference.
That makes a real difference outside of like a team that's like on the rebuilding side of things. Like I don't know what a team that's competing for a championship or that's like contending right now that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't see any contenders that make sense.
Like it makes more sense for that nigga to go to the Trailblazers more than it does like the Clips or something. And I'm just saying a name, but it's just like okay, like I want him paired with some younger niggas. I don't know. Maybe the Bucks? I don't know.
Nah, I
don't. Now you got two rim
exactly.
runners.
So that's why I'm like I don't see the Bucks.
Yeah.
One team I do wish like. I wish I know it shouldn't happen. If he does go there, it won't work. But like the Hornets, like seeing him in LaMelo, but the Hornets are just, I don't know what's wrong. They're cursed. They're a cursed franchise, I think, literally. So they just keep losing and being bad. So I don't think that's going to happen. Even if it does happen, it won't work. So
yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe Zion needs to be in Atlanta. I don't know. Maybe Zion.
We're saying all these big cities. Granted, Charlotte's not that big of a city, but we were saying like Miami and Atlanta. I don't know if Zion can be in those places.
Exactly. I don't think. Or I'll say this. Maybe if you're ready to get off Julius Randle, maybe the Timberwolves is an option.
I am not upset at that. I'm thinking it through in my head. I'm trying to imagine the fit. Because Julius Randle, he's not the crazy offensive talent or nothing like that. But he can shoot better than Zion. Although he's not like a shooter. He's not a crazy shooter or nothing. So I just want to know how that fit would work as far as spacing. Zion and Gobert.
And Zion I'll be honest with you, Zion is a better facilitator. Not that it really makes a difference or not, but like
I don't know. Julius Randle's a solid. Like Zion might be better, but Julius Randle is still very solid. So
I'm not saying he's not solid. I'm not saying that he's not solid at all. I'm just thinking like, yes, like Julius Randle is a better quote unquote shooter, but at the same time, the problem is the nigga just shoot too much and shoot up a whole bunch of hell no's.
And if he's not making shots, he don't do nothing else for real because he's not a defender.
He's not effective. He's not effective.
Like, we do say he passes, but he's not. That's not his main responsibility. So Zion can do a little bit more on the defensive side, although he doesn't always. But a locked in Zion is a great defender. So
honestly, honestly, we're beating around the bush. The best situation is to say his black ass in New Orleans. If we're being honest. The best situation for the nigga is to stay there because you got some good pieces in Trae Young and Herb Jones and some other niggas. They just need to do a better job of getting better pieces around them on top of what they already have. That's really
actually no. They need to fire their training staff. That's what they need. That's how the Pelicans succeed. They need to get a dedicated training staff to them and them only, because they're splitting staffs with the Saints and it's not working because everybody keep getting hurt. So that's they do that, and the Pelicans might win a championship next year.
You may be onto something. They'll be cooking. They're probably two pieces. They're probably just like the Atlanta Hawks. They're just two pieces away. 2 pieces away.
But we just discussed a hypothetical trade. Let's go and talk about a real trade that happened, because Nico Harrison, he came back. He had, or I guess, no, yeah, him and the Mavericks CEO Rick Wells, they had comments that they gave to the media during a closed door session, because the Mavs owner didn't want the public involved, so it was just a closed session to Harrison and the reporters. And he has some, I don't want to call them bars because everything he said was pretty whack, but he has some things to say about the Mavericks, the state of the Mavericks. So during this session, Tim McMahon, who apparently him and Nico, at least from reading the transcript, I could tell they just deeply hate each other and want to like duel to the death. But Tim McMahon, a reporter for ESPN, he said, Nico, you mentioned Dirk can have any role he wants with the franchise. Dirk being Dirk Nowitzki, who is the greatest Mavs player of all time. Literally. He said, why not seek Dirk's input before you make a franchise-altering decision like trading Luka? And Nico said, first of all, nobody knew about this trade. It was very hush-hush. But you can't look for advice from people who aren't in the building on a consistent basis, because they're not going to understand what the team's going through day in and day out. So McMahon asked later in a follow-up, he said, what's your understanding of why Dirk has decided that he's not going to be involved in the inner works of the franchise? He's like, I don't know. He hasn't been here since I've been here. So that's a question for him. And then McMahon then went to ask about a whole bunch of people that were fired or no longer with the organization. And then it just became a whole argument between them. As you can see, as Tim McMahon, Nico Harrison, like they were really just arguing this whole time. And I just want to know, do you think Nico will ever I have 2 questions. Do you think he can ever live this down, this trade? Or do you think his career is always going to be defined by this trade?
I mean, it's always going to be defined. He could win 2 or 3 championships, but this is always going to be a defining moment, just like how it is for Jimmy Johnson when he traded Herschel Walker. It ended up being for the good, and they won mad championships. But people look at that trade as the pivotal, as the start of whatever the fuck Jimmy Johnson's legacy was going to be for the Dallas Cowboys. Just like what it is going to be for Nico Harrison. He can win 2 championships. It's always going to go back to the trade that shocked the world, and whether we were right or wrong or indifferent about it, this is where people are going to remember Nico Harrison for this. This is not going away. I think he knows that. Now, do I think he'll be able to overcome it? It depends on what you feel like overcoming means. Like it defines, it depends on what your definition is, because there's some people that feel like it don't matter if the nigga win a championship, they still on some fuck Nico shit. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of depends on who you are. Now, me personally, if Nico's able within this window, and this can't be like no 10, 15 years down the road shit. We're talking about this current window. If he's able to have multiple finals appearances and get you a championship, and Luka's not able to do that in return, he might be able to get out of this. I ain't gonna lie. He might be able to survive.
But do you think he'll ever walk back some of the statements he's been saying? Because
hell no.
He said a lot of flagrant stuff. So I'm like, you don't think he'll ever? Because I didn't get into all this. He was talking crazy about Dirk. He was talking crazy a little bit about Mark Cuban. He still was leaking reports about Luka being fat and drinking too much and blah blah blah. You think he'll ever walk any of those back?
Hell no. Because I'm be honest with you, it's only It's only up from here with Nico. Like he's at the lowest point that you can be at when it comes to GM situations where everything that can go wrong did go wrong, and you still talking crazy. You think when this nigga's up, he gonna be like, I actually take no. He might mash the gas on it. He might win the championship. He might say, you see, this is what we talk about, defensive mentality. He might say defense for like the first 30 seconds of his conversation, post-championship run. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think he's the type of nigga that's probably standing on business at this point. He done probably heard every flagrant thing he's ever heard under the sun. He rocking in his villain role, and I get it. Because I gotta respect that you stand on. I gotta respect that you stand on business. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's rocking in this villain role, but I don't think like you can rock in the villain role for sure. But like he's not thriving in the role. I don't think
you can't thrive.
He doesn't want to be the villain, but he's trying to act like he's okay with it. But I can tell in his heart he's not really in it.
Because he ain't got no choice, but because he ain't got no choice. He ain't got no choice. That's the problem. He ain't got no choice, and that goes back to my situation. This what comes back to me. It comes back to what I've been always been saying. He's been this guy that's going to be the fall guy for all of this shit. He's going to be that guy. Fuck Nico, fire Nico. When I know damn well, them owners got way more hands on the situation than niggas want to just say, and it's only because niggas don't be knowing the owners' names for real. It's not like a Jerry Jones situation where you know what the fuck. Nobody ever talks about the Cowboys GM. They talk about Jerry, even though the GM is Jerry's son.
Yeah, Jerry.
So I mean,
he's the owner and GM.
Oh well, bad example, but you get what I'm you get what I'm trying to say. Where it's like, okay, like he didn't want this to be closed. He didn't want this to be a closed thing, but he's coming off as a quote unquote bitch ass nigga because he didn't want no cameras X, Y, and Z when it was the owner's request. It's like, damn, okay. Not only do I have to play this villain role, you continue to pay me as a bitch ass nigga. I better get a raise. I better get a raise for this. This is why I feel like he's not getting fired anytime soon. Because if he gets fired and another GM comes in and you finally realize and understand that GM moves similarly to Nico Harrison, then it's like, okay, now you can say, yeah, it's the owners. It's the owners, nigga.
But moving on from one person who was not thriving in his villain role to somebody who I would say he's thriving in the villain role as we pivot from basketball to football. But Greg, I regret to inform you that Aaron Rodgers is talking in public again.
Yeah. The way you said it just reminded me of that George Bush meme. Sir, they hit the second tower. It's crazy.
That's what it feels like every time he opens his mouth. That's what it feels like. But this is Aaron Rodgers. He's on the Pat McAfee show like he always is, and this time he's discussing him being cut by the Jets. Not gonna hold you. This is incredibly hilarious. So
you meet with the coach. You meet with the coach.
We start talking. He runs out of the room. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I was like, then he comes back with the GM, and I'm like, all right. So we sit down in the office, and I think we're going to have this long conversation. I've flown across the country, and 20 seconds in, he goes, I mean, literally, I'm talking to the GM about something, and he leans to the edge of his seat and goes, so do you want to play football? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, we're going a different direction at quarterback. And I said, and I was kind of shocked. Now, not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility. Listen, of course, they want to move on. That's totally fine. But shocked because I just flew across country. You could have told me this on the phone. If we weren't even going to have a conversation, and this is verbatim exactly how it happened. So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released, the messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a shit about the message. And I said, why? And then he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you.
Interesting.
And I said, what does that even mean?
A broken clock is twice. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not going.
I don't think he's right. Like, because one, this whole thing is funny because this is what Aaron Rodgers deserves because niggas annoying. But also, like,
what you mean he wrong, nigga? You could have called me. You could have just let
because if Aaron Glenn or whoever, if the Jets would have called Aaron Rodgers from wherever he was and be like, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and cut you. He would have been on Pat McAfee's show. Didn't even give me the decency of a face-to-face conversation because you know how that's always how it happens. Like if somebody called you to inform or something like that, you know they always got to run to me like, oh, they didn't want to even talk to me face-to-face and blah blah blah, man to man. So that's why I'm cool with them doing all of this because it also is the funniest possible outcome, and I'm always in support of that.
There, I think a lot of people. When they talk about the face-to-face conversations, and granted, I don't know how the NFL be moving, but the NBA be on some other shit. You know what I mean? They'll have a face-to-face conversation of, oh, you're not going to trade me, right? Oh, we would never trade you.
Oh, he's lying.
And then Shams would get like a report and you would find out on the internet, oh, I got traded for X, Y, and Z. I think that is totally different than the nigga flying all the way out thinking one thing, and then all of a sudden, as we decide to go in a different direction, I think, regardless of how Aaron Rodgers would have said, "Oh, he didn't," me personally, I think people would at least like a phone call before Shams gets a hold of some shit, because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, but like I feel like that's different than the nigga that gets like the Chris Paul trade to go to OKC. Like that's totally different because that nigga Daryl Morey was just like, oh, you wouldn't want to go to OKC by any chance? Say, no, nigga, I just bought my house. No, I just moved my family in. No, oh, okay, I'm just checking. And then 3 days later, you get sent to OKC.
You know, like that's doing it like that is criminal. Doing it this Aaron Rodgers way is just funny.
It's funny. It's funny. It could have been, like I said, there's some truths to this, but at the end of the day, as Aaron Glenn is establishing his, first year of being a head coach and all the stuff that's going on that transpires, keeping it safe and doing it this way, can't nobody attack you. Because you let niggas know up front, face to face. It's just funny coming from Aaron Rodgers. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Not gonna hold you. I get what he meant too, because I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm first year head coach. I say something, and then you got everybody looking back to Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, who then been in the NFL 20 years, and he might be saying something different or because that's what Aaron Rodgers does, because that's what he's done at literally every single stop he's been at. So I get exactly why Aaron Glenn cut him. I mean, Rodgers, he's not like, well, I was going to say he's not stupid, but I don't know. He could be stupid. I don't know him personally. I sort of do think he might be a little stupid, but all that CT and everything. But deep down, he knew they was going to cut him. He knew that salary cap number was too high. He knew all his homies was leaving, bro. Like, you knew they was going to cut you, dog. Just stop it, fool.
Yeah, cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit.
Yeah. Honestly, I got another take about Aaron Rodgers, but I want to say that for my hot take.
Also, side note, Greg Popovich is out of the hospital.
Even in the hospital this entire time?
After having a medical incident at a restaurant Tuesday night.
Oh shit.
So side note, I just think it's time for that nigga to pack it up, man.
Yeah,
I think it's time to pack it. Not even trying to go back to basketball, but it's just that information.
Like this might sound sort of weird to say, but maybe I could probably not. But like this is a perfect offseason for him to retire if he does retire, because there's a whole lot of good coaches that have been recently fired, and the Spurs could be like, hey, you want to coach Wemby? And they'll say, yes, we do. And boom, you got your new head coach. So it's if this is how he has to retire, it's very unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world for the Spurs. But it does suck big time though.
Yeah, I know he's a workaholic and all that stuff, but yeah, I think shit. Me personally, I can get Mike Malone on the damn phone immediately.
Yeah.
Get Mike Malone immediately on that damn phone. But yeah, man, shout out to Pop, man. Hope he takes it easy. Hope he takes it. This is I don't know. I don't know, man. It's unfortunate to hear. Unfortunate to hear. But back to this Aaron Rodgers stuff. Yeah, he knew what time it was. That's why he had to clarify. I'm not shocked that it wasn't a possibility. I'm just shocked, nigga.
Shut up.
You just
bro.
like the yap. That's what it is. You just like the yap. That's all that is. It's a white yapper, and I think that's why we don't like it because he's a white yapper. We don't like how this shit. We don't like listening to shit like this.
Yeah,
we don't.
No,
we
real.
barely tolerate. We barely tolerate it from Micah Parsons, but because that nigga's a Philly nigga, we give him a little bit of grace. But we don't like none of this shit. Honestly, we don't like it when what's that nigga Fred Warner do it. We don't like it when other niggas do it.
Yeah, bro. Shut up and dribble.
We don't like it when Amon Ra does it. Like we don't care. We don't care, nigga.
Oh my gosh. But
that's what it is.
I think it might be that time, Greg. I do think it might be that time.
Do you think it's wise for you to keep talking?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Whoa, that's not what I was thinking about. Welcome to Hot Takes of the Week. Where we say our hot takes and we ask ourselves, was it wise to keep talking about that hot take? We'll figure out if it's wise or not. Jax, do you have a hot take?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right. And I just would press the button again.
My fault.
But no, my hot take is coming off of that Aaron Rodgers thing. And it's sort of been on the hot take I did last week, but I think if the Steelers draft Shador, which I do think is going to happen, Aaron Rodgers is going to go retire. Like that's my hot take. He's gonna realize like, hey, it's really no team that really needs me. Like, do I want like the Vikings don't want me? He's been waiting for the Vikings. They don't want him. There's still the Browns. I don't think he wants the Browns. I don't think he wants the Browns. I don't think the Browns want him. So there's that. I think he waited a little bit too late, and his play is not worth the trouble he comes with. So I do think if and when the Steelers draft Shador or whoever they get at quarterback, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. It's time to retire. I think he will do just that.
Brett Favre retired, and then that nigga unretired. That nigga Brady retired for 40 days. Not even 40 nights. Nigga unretired. Do you feel like there's a universe where you are right and he does retire and that he quickly unretires and comes back the following season?
No, if he retires, I think he's gonna stay retired because like when Brady retired, he wasn't as cheeks as Rodgers was. And also Brady wasn't as loud and annoying as Rodgers was when he retired. So I feel like Rodgers is gonna retire, and then he's gonna, even if he thinks about unretiring, he's gonna be like, dang, everybody done moved on without me. And he's probably gonna be doing him a little podcast and doing all that ayahuasca and whatever on the show. So he'll probably be just fine, to be honest.
Now you brought up Brady, but you didn't mention that criminal.
What criminal?
That other criminal that retired and then unretired.
Brett Favre?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he was. You said what?
I didn't know I needed to say his name again, but yeah, that man.
I mean, yeah, he retired and then unretired, but when he unretired, he wasn't good.
Oh, I'm not saying he's gonna be good. I'm saying, is he gonna unretire?
No, I'm just saying, like, and that was also back in the day when there wasn't as many good quarterbacks as there are now. Because low key, it's a lot of good young quarterbacks.
Yeah, you're right. Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Zach Wilson. Sam Darnold. You know,
Let's
the
move on.
top tier guys. The top tier guys.
Like you can't beat those.
It's no team that has like a real deal dream of competing, even if they have that dream next year. It's no team that will be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the key to that, because he's not. So I think the league is just sort of moving on from him, or passing him by. He's having a hard time adjusting to it. But oh well.
You know, it was wise. It was wise for you to continue talking. You was spitting. You was spitting. I respect that one. I like that hot take a lot, actually. You can be a poverty franchise even when you have winning seasons. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Poverty don't leave you because you had a season or two. Be honest with you. All right. Niggas be acting like, you know, I'm talking about a specific team. I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why you are in the situation that you are in is because you are always and always have been inherently a poverty franchise. Oof. The moves you made, even as a winning organization for the 2 seasons that you had, quote unquote, better seasons, you showed why you were in franchise hell for 17 of them bitches. Not gonna lie to you. You start off by, quote unquote, trading Tyrese Halliburton,
who wanted to be there,
which is rare, very rare, extremely rare. And we can have the debate of who's better between De'Aaron and Tyrese. Who knows? Quote unquote. Who the fuck cares? You bring in Sabonis. I like the guy. Just drafted him in one of my videos. That's going to drop today. But, okay. You do all this. Now you don't have any of them. You don't have Tyrese and you don't have De'Aaron. You decided that you wanted a plethora of head coaches within these 17 years, year after year after year, wasting niggas' primes, wasting niggas' talent. We don't know how good Boogie Cousins could have been because you just fucked it up. And by the time he went to a better organization, God rest his soul, God rest his Achilles and lower tendons. Like he
was cooked already.
His injuries got cooked.
Yeah.
But we would have never known. We would have never known how good Boogie Cousins could have been in this league because you wasting his fucking time. Lo and behold, you finally get a coach that wants to be there, a Mike Brown. And he gets you into a winning situation. He wins Coach of the Year. And you reward him with a contract extension. You know what you do after the contract extension? You fire him 2 months later. Who does that? You give a coach an extension and then fire him 2 months into the next season. That's crazy. That situation. And on top of that, you said, fuck it. We're going to trade De'Aaron Fox. We're going to trade all these other things. You know what y'all decide to do? Not only, this is also the same franchise that didn't want to draft Luka Doncic because Vlade Divac didn't fuck with the nigga. Low-key a blessing in disguise. You probably would have fucked that nigga shit up too.
Vlade and Luka had like beef from back in the old country or some shit.
That's fucking crazy. Because why you beefing with a teenager, nigga? Grow up. Grow the fuck up, nigga. But what you decide to do is get a dynamic duo that didn't work in Chicago and say, you know what? I'm going to bring them fucking here. I'm going to bring DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine here. That's going to fix my fucking problems. What? And now you in a fucking meaningless playing game, getting cooked by the Dallas Mavericks that have no business being part of nobody's playing game. And you fucking y'all niggas up. Talking about some fucking light the beam. What are we fucking doing? And it's not like it's a small sample size. You know what Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are capable of because they've been together since 2020. It's called the DeMar DeRozan Invitational for a fucking reason. You're a poverty franchise. It's a hey, respect to my brother. Respect to him. The facts are the facts. That nigga, I think him and Jonas Valanciunas is I think they have a record, a points record of how many points played in the play-in. So apparently they keeping some kind of stat somewhere.
That's crazy.
Fucking crazy. So
That's crazy.
You're a poverty franchise. You will continue to be a poverty franchise. And I don't think one season of being good should deter or just be like, oh, okay, we're not no poverty. No, poverty. Poverty.
How many seasons does it take to get that poverty franchise stink off of you?
5 consistent ones. 5 that don't mean you winning the championship every fucking year, but you are going into a positive direction. I don't consider the Trailblazers as a poverty franchise. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't consider it like just nationally notorious. No, and they've been on the bottom tier as of recently post Dame. But you see the results. You see them climbing up. You see them drafting well. You see certain things happening. You know what I mean? What we got going on? The only reason why niggas not talking about you because you got somebody down in fucking Arizona making it even worse for niggas. That's the only reason why niggas not talking about you right now.
And also because nobody cares about the Kings at all ever. So
nobody gives a fuck about the city of Sacramento. Nobody cares about the city of Sacramento. Niggas don't even know that's the capital of California. Niggas don't know that.
It's me. I'm niggas. I had no idea. I didn't know that was the capital.
and let me not act like I always knew that information. I was a grown ass man when I found out. Grown ass man.
Today years old. This shit crazy.
I don't give a fuck about Sacramento. The only reason I know about Sacramento is because I fucking Josiah is from Sacramento for a little bit. That's the only thing I know about Sacramento, nigga. Fuck out of here. Sacktown. Fuck out of here. That's why niggas don't need to have multiple basketball teams in the same state. Somebody always gets neglected.
Yeah, not as fact.
Somebody can do a better job with the Sacramento Kings. Somebody can do a better job.
Send them up to Seattle, bro. They need to get up. They need to get sent to Seattle. That'd probably be for the best. It's not going to happen though.
Yeah. Get this poverty franchise off my fucking. Get it off the screen. I don't want to see it. At least the Atlanta Hawks be mid. You know what I mean? That's their problem. They always consistently at the 500 realm.
But they be having cool players though. Like Trey, even though people want to hate on him, Trey, cool player. I ain't got no problem with him. I can't think of the dude's name. Who's Dyson Daniels? He steals the ball every single time, like 3 steals a game. That's impressive. That's cool. Like it's even back in the day they had people like Dominique Wilkins. A little bit after that they had Joe Johnson and Josh Smith and them. They had cool players. They just was ass. So
Sacramento Kings, Tennessee Titans, jerseys. Let me know if I'm wrong. You can't name me a nigga that don't look washed.
I'm not gonna hold you. The Kings have great purple and black are great colors too, and the fact that they just poop that hole with the jerseys is insane.
Ugly. Niggas just be. I've never seen a jersey that hard and make niggas that washed. Crazy. Bro. Crazy. Well, that's my hot take. And with that being said, at the end of the day, I think we both cook, Jax.
Do you think it's wise for you to keep talking?
I think we did a good job. I think we were here. I think we're here. I think we're locked in. There's a video that's about to drop about us slandering Olive Garden, and that's gonna drop around 5:00. It was something that happened on our last episode. A little different from sports, but go fuck with the content, nigga. We dropping shit every day around here. Yeah. Fuck out of here. But with that being said, Jax, any last words?
Want to change your life? Go do some life changing shit.
Yeah, definitely. We're quite literally 64 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. Every subscriber counts. Everyone matters. Every view matters. Whether you like, love, or hate the opinions of what we got to say, we appreciate you for engaging. Keep the engagements up. Pump them bitches up. With that being said, this is a black podcast, and as a black podcast, go see Sinners. Go see Sinners. Heard it's a great movie. I will be watching it.
Go see the new Ryan Coogler film. I don't appreciate the fact that it's called Sinners. I can't get behind. Hey, go see Sinners. That feels odd to me.
It feels odd.
Go see the new Ryan Coogler film.
It feels odd. It feels odd. It feels odd for something that we all have, Jax. Yeah, we all carry that. Jax. We all carry that. We all carry sin, Jax.
I know, but I'm not gonna say, "Hey, go see Sinners." That feels odd. So I'm gonna just say, go see the new Ryan Coogler film with Michael B. Jordan, and they'll understand what I'm talking about. The new one that came out in 2025. I see
a sinner every day.
Hey, that's real.
Talking to a sinner right now.
That's real. Like, still not gonna say.
Yeah, you treat that shit like Voldemort, bro. You get it. I understand. Relax. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. And with that being said, we will catch y'all next week. Goodbye.